Hello, everybody. June 6th, 2017. First, wish my oldest sister, a happy 60th birthday. Love you, sis. First one on both sides of the family, actually, to hit that milestone. Hope it's a good day. Now, just a couple, this is a short one, just a couple quick things I wanted to talk about before I forget about them. I addressed one in my blog, which I haven't posted yet for today. It just comes in dealing with a couple people today. You know, the Lord sends me people all the time to help in various ways. So I wanted to address points I made to them, situations which one or both may have happened or is happening in everybody's life who reads the blog or watches these videos or in the world, really. One is, I'm not going to name names, this is not a chastisement in any way, shape, or form. It's just to point out helpful points and very important points to keep things in your mental perspective. One was the person is undergoing difficult times with an ex-spouse who is of male persuasion, who is making things difficult, taking them to court for child support because the children went to him, and is just dragging my friend through the court system, causing a lot of problems, and having difficulty dealing with it. And I sent some prayers, psalm prayers, and some psalm readings to read that would help to remind her how to put things in perspective and keep things in perspective, and other things to do, rebuking, banishing, Psalm 91, to do to keep that stuff away, that negative stuff away. And they were at work at the time. We were texting, and they said that they would, at work now, they would read them when they're done working. I said, no, you need to read them now. It'll take a couple minutes to read them. And God has to come first. And the point, and again, it's not chastisement or criticism, it's just, that's the scenario of what happened to make this point, that you have to put God first. You can't, on one hand, say, help me God, what do I need to do? And then you give that information or the tool to help you, and then say, okay, thank you, I got it. I'll get back with you later when I have time. You can't say, help me God, then thanks for that help, but I'll handle it and later on when I have time to do so. But there you're saying, put God first, like, help me, then later, put him last at the end of the day. You can't do that. And then when some things don't turn out the way you hoped, say in this situation where the court case didn't come out well, people tend to blame God. It's like, why didn't you help me, or why are you allowing this to happen? Like, well, you can't ask for help and then deny that help when it's convenient for you. This is why a lot of people feel God doesn't hear their prayers or requests, or doesn't answer them, or doesn't care. He hears everything. He knows what you're going to ask before you ask it. He knows what you're going to feel before you feel it. He knows what you're going to do before you do it. He knows your whole life before you were created, conceived. Already knows it. He's God. He's not omnipotent. You can't think of him in human terms, in human parameters. He's way out of our league. So he always answers your requests and your prayers, but you gotta keep him first. You gotta keep him first and be open up to things. I mean, if we're so focused on the background noise, the things of this world, the stuff of this world, the people of this world, and what's going on inside us, our inner turmoil, our self-made prisons that we're running around with our screaming our lungs off inside, and nobody knows it. If you're so focused on that, it drowns out him trying to communicate to you. That's like jamming, cramming your stereo top notch, all that noise, and then you're trying to talk to God and Him's trying to hear you. You're trying to hear Him. It's not going to happen. So you have to tune yourself in. You have to put Him first. Focus on Him. Then you will see the difference. And trust in Him, because he knows what He's doing. Be patient in Him. Just leave control all over to Him. However it turns out, when you give control over to Him, however it turns out is exactly how He wants it to turn out. Might not be how you wanted it to turn out, but ultimately it's for your good, because it's what He wants. And He wants nothing but good for us. Nothing but good. So you give that control over to Him. Whatever situation arises, just give that control over to Him. And have the outcome, it's what He wants, which is ultimately for your own good, because He is the perfect parent. Think of yourself when you were young, your parents, how they dealt with you. Hopefully, if they were good parents, and how you may deal with your children. That you know ultimately, if they listen to you and follow your guidance, whether they like it or not all the time, ultimately it's for their own good. And they will realize that later on. Well, He's the perfect parent. So to give that control over Him, you ask Him for help, you put your request to Him, and accept and get control of Him. Even if it's something you want that's not His will. So, hey Lord, I want this, may I have it? But it's up to you. And that's what I started doing years ago. Says, okay Lord, I'd like this, I'd like to have this, or I'd like to do this. I'd like to be in this situation, but it's up to you. I want what you want. And that kind of became my mantra. You know, which is just, thy will be done. Says, I want what you want. Well, I want what He wants. And people would ask me, what are you going to do? You know, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I says, I want what He wants. I want what He wants. Because then I know I'm better off. And I am better off than I've ever been in my life. So that's one thing. Other thing, situation was person's gone through some physical pain and emotional pain, doing some healing. And I was made aware last night through my daughter's spirit visiting me, just stopped by, she often does, and just said that this person was in a lot of pain that night, that time. And that her pain, that they were doing all they could from the spiritual side, but that her pain had purpose. I didn't say what the purpose was, but having thought on it and being intuitive, empathic, and my connection with God, I believe, I feel that in her situation it's multi-purposed, which a lot of times things are with God. That the purpose is to purify her, to keep focused on God, and to strengthen her, prepare her for what lies ahead, because she is gifted. She has a gift that's gotten buried by suffering. And reminded her that God being the sculptor, we being the clay, sometimes He'll build us up a certain way, like an artist. I'm not happy with that. Breaks it down and starts building again. Or painter, I don't like that, so he gets rid of it or covers over it, paints over it because he didn't like how it came out. So sometimes God tears us down so He can lift us up as He's remolding us bigger and better than we were before. So that's part of it. That's one way of it being a reason for our suffering. And the other point being that, as Paul said, gladly I suffer my infirmities, for when I'm weak, then I am strong. 2 points here. That the I am, which is God, which is our Lord, is twice in that sentence. Gladly I suffer my infirmities, for when I am weak, then I am strong. I am the beginning of that sentence. I am the end of the sentence. Beginning, the end. I am Alpha. I am the Omega. Jesus right in that sentence. And when I am weak, that's when He comes here to help us. Therefore, I am strong because He's with me. When you believe that, and you give that suffering over to Him, And you give thanks for that suffering. He says, thank you, Jesus, for that suffering. Though I'm weak and suffering, I know I am strong because you're with me and you will build me back up and get me through it. Very important. I am weak. I am strong. Simple as that. And he is, this is another example of multiple meanings, of layers of meanings, and so many things in the Bible have been said. The surface is just so stirred up and cloudy and murky, but underneath that surface, oh my God, the glory and the light and the joy and the meanings just blow your mind. But you got to open yourself up to them. Open yourself up to them. So it's just a quick, short one. Like I said, I didn't want to forget what I wanted to talk about and share that information, that enlightenment, and the I am thing part just came to me right then. It's another example of how suddenly have an awareness, an epiphany moment of something that I've heard many times or read many times. And that will happen to you too. Once you give over yourself to Him and ask Him to grow me, give me that wisdom, your wisdom and knowledge, the discernment of it, the discernment of your will, your word, your truth. Just let go of everything. Give that control of Him. Take it from me, Lord. Take everything. Offer everything up to Him every night. You go to bed, you offer it up to Him. He says, you're getting your guilt and your sin offering every night. He says, here, Lord, take it. Take all my sin, my guilt, all that's negative, that's within me and around me, all I am offer to you, Lord, and set it by your bed. Like the angels come by and pick it up. Like a recycle truck. Recycling angels come by, pick it up, and Jesus said, let me transform all good and bad into good. Take it and recycle it into good to help those who are poor in spirit, wherever they may be. So it's like when you're doing that each night, you're basically recycling and you're donating. It's like taking clothes or whatever to Goodwill, to a donation center, to help out those in need. That's what you're doing every single night. That's a tithe. That's a major tithe each night that you can do for God. So say, God does not need money. He does not need money. People throw money in the pan, the church. God don't need that. And even the money you throw in there supposed to go to the poor, it doesn't all go to the poor. It's still people that run those organizations. You're paying for the gas to take the stuff there. You're paying for the administrative costs. All those hidden costs. How much of what you give actually goes to the poor. You're better off buying food, taking it down to the food shelter, wherever that may be. Then not necessarily close by, it could be a drive. Because that happened to me one time. I was taking a shower, and the Lord said, I want you to take food and water to the poor. I said, okay, Lord. Or the Holy Spirit, whoever's speaking to me, says, okay. There's a lot of them around where I lived at that time. Happy to do that. And they said, no. But you go buy the water and bread, take it up to the north side of Las Vegas at that time, which was a drive and through traffic and heat, and take it to the shelter, and give it to the poor. Says the Lord, but there's somebody there close by. He says, it's not about your convenience. It's not about your convenience, Tim. It's not about you. Food for thought. That, God bless. Have a wonderful evening. Till we talk again. Good night.